So let's go ahead and start previewing some of these games, and we'll start with the Copa del Sol, I believe is what I'm going to go with. Inter Miami versus Orlando, and we're, of course, going to give it to our resident Inter Miami fan. Connor, go ahead, take it away.
Wow. That's so funny.
I know. It's 10 o'clock. I have my funny gene on. Adam, go ahead. Give us a little breakdown. Where did we leave off with Inter Miami and Orlando? What are players you're looking for? And give me a little prediction.
So I'm very much in favor of the Copa del Sol, even though the winner of this game doesn't actually get a trophy. It's much better than the Sunshine Derby and some of the other horrible names that I've seen thrown around Twitter. But this is the game that I think this is the right way to start off a tournament. It's, the new expansion team that we've only gotten to see twice this season that have looked all right, but arguably in terms of profile, probably, top 5 worldwide in the league just because of who owns it and where they're located. And obviously Miami and David Beckham is prime real estate for anyone. And then you have Orlando, who has Luis Nani and his 12th back. But I want to say Miami wins. I feel like Miami will be excited and up for it, while Orlando just continue to exist. I saw something the other day that an Orlando player was quoted saying that Orlando or Florida is purple. Orlando's never been purple, even when you were the only team. You've existed for 7 years by yourself. You've never made the playoffs in a league where everybody makes playoffs. And now you think you own the state now that there's another team that can compete with you. So if Orlando loses this game, they're just done. This can only go badly for them. Miami comes in and they lose, fine. Expansion team, still working out the kinks, no big deal. But if they win, Orlando's got some serious questions. That being said, I don't know who's the one to watch it for Orlando, other than the obvious in Luis Nani. I just feel like he's going to be doing the majority of the work for that team offensively. I know they were linked with, I forget his name, some young forward from South America.
It's late. Back into.
Oh God, I hope he doesn't go to Orlando.
Someone was coming out of retirement, but
yeah. He could probably start up top for that team.
Probably, but yeah. So I mean, you look at the Miami team, who, all in all, I know they haven't won a game. I know they're 0-2 to start the year, but the two teams they've played, so they played the best team in the league in LAFC and only lost 1-0 because Luis Robles stood on his head pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And a DC game where they were winning, went up the other end and scored, but then got called back on a handball and red card, and then ended up losing because they were down a man for like half the game. So not, obviously not a great start to the season, but not the worst. It's about average. But I expect Miami to somehow pull this off. I think this is kind of where Pizarro shines. He's looked pretty dangerous in the first 2 games, and now has had, how many more weeks to get acclimated to his teammates working together. So I think he's, arguably the most dangerous. And then I think their back line steps up. We brought in LGP, Breck Shea, who I don't believe are playing. I know LGP traveled, but I don't think he's eligible. As for Breck Shea, I have no idea. But I kind of like the way they're shaping up, at least so far. I think they looked at those first 2 games and kind of looked at where they can improve, and got kind of lucky with this whole intermission thing and said, all right, now it's our time to take a step back, add some pieces, and attack this when soccer starts up again. So I'm going to go 2-1 Miami.
Right. So interesting note. I just looked this up. Luis Nani hasn't featured yet.
He was.
I was trying to think of like what his first appearances were. He hasn't played yet. So I wonder if he'll even feature. I don't know if it was a lasting injury or anything like that.
He seemed healthy based off that picture we posted of himself, so I have to imagine he's ready.
One of the other guys that I would watch personally, there are two of them. I'd watch Chris Mueller because he doesn't start. I have no idea why. He's the best player on that team. And I'm watching whoever they play at true striker, either Tesho Akindele, Santiago Patino, anybody who's playing that true striker role is the guy I got to watch because, as we mentioned, they aren't scoring a lot and they need to figure out how. So those are the players I'm watching for Orlando.
Also give a shout out to my boy Lewis Morgan because he's good.